pinakainit at trending episode with your schoolmates barkada, Trisha Bersano. At bagamat wala man ang ngayong araw ang aking partner na si James, no? So James, kaway-kaway ka dyan. Dyan ka lang. For the meantime, tayo muli sasamahan ng ating isa sa mga OG schoolmates barkada sa paghimay ng argumento sa ngayong araw. At walang iba kundi si JV Cruz! JV, it's been so long!
Alam mo, sobrang excited talaga ako ngayon. Alam mo, excited na excited akong tanungin to sa ating audience ngayon. Isang sigaw na may kasamang balakbakan! Diba? Ang taas sa energy, ang saya-saya, diba?
Yes.
Pero syempre, Trisha, speaking of masaya, diba? Nasaan nga ba tayo ngayon?
Right. Walang iba kundi sa Far
Eastern University Cavite! Alam mo, Trisha, fun fact, no? Ako ay isang tama raw din.
Ay, iba. Okay, cheer naman natin.
Mabuhay ang mga tama raw, yes.
Ayan. So what does it feel like to be back in your alma mater, just in a different
Oo,
area,
masaya.
location?
Saka wala namang pinagbago. Pareho, puro greens pa din talaga.
Correct. At sana greens din ang marka na malaman natin no, sa ating mga debaters for today. At
Yes.
syempre, ibang energy yung mga nakaraang debate natin sa ibang mga episodes. Kaya yun din, sana ang energy na ibibigay sa atin ng Far Eastern University Cavite. At syempre, no, mga mahalagang isyo ang ating pag-uusapan muli. Isang mahalaga naman na punto ang dapat natin tumpukin dahil ang ating demokrasya ang nakasalalay, no? Dahil sa issue na ito na dapat pag-isipan ng bawat kabataang botante. Ano nga ba to?
Yes, tama ka dyan, Trish. No? Ito nga yung tinatawag natin na Party List System o Republic Act number 7941 na nilagdaan ng dating Pangulong Fidel V. Ramos noong 1995. Ito ay para magkaroon ng representasyon ang mga marginalized and underrepresented sector na may layuning bigyan ng upuan sa Kongreso.
At ayon sa 1987 Philippine Constitution, 20%, so take note of that number, 20% ng kabuuang seats sa House of Representatives ay nakalaan para sa mga party list groups. So ibig sabihin nito, may specific na espasyo lamang na nakalaan para sa mga grupong kumakatawan sa iba't ibang sektor. So depende rin sa dami to ng boto, no, na makuha nila nationwide. So maaari silang magkaroon ng up to 3 seats per party list sa maximum, no, sa House of Representatives.
Oo, pero alam mo, Trish, sa paglipas kasi ng mga taon, marami kasi ang nagsasabi na lumayo na ang orihinal na layunin nito, no? May mga ulat kasi na ilang party list groups ang konektado sa mga political dynasties, sa mga malalaking negosyo, at syempre sa mga malalaking individual na hindi naman talaga kabilang sa mga marginalized sectors.
At dahil dito, marami ang nagtaas ng kilay. So parang ang taas ng kilay? Back, o di ba? Nagtaas ng kilay sa mga party list system na tunay nga ba silang boses ng mga marginalized sector o isa lamang itong paraan nga ba para makapasok sa Kongreso ang mga makapangyarihang grupo? At dahil dyan, ang tanong natin ngayong araw ay, abolition of the party list system, dapat ba o hindi dapat? Ayan. So schoolmates, atin na kilalanin ang mga debaters. Unahin na natin ang pabor sa pag-abolish ng party list system. Narito po sila.
Hi, ako nga pala si Jedrel B. Mangolabnan. I am currently 19 years old. I am representing the political science as a first-year student. Well, nung nalaman namin yung topic, definitely nagulat kami. Kasi the party list system has become quite known with the recent events happening with the Philippines. Definitely going to bring up some different and unique viewpoints. Hopefully, we'll be able to do what we are told to do and, of course, perform our very best.
Hi, I am Jasmine Claire Y. Quinto and I am currently 18 years old. I am representing the first year political science. Our individual practices all came together when we were trying to do a grouping. As of now, I think we are all confident naman about our presentation later and I really hope each and every one of us shines later po.
I am Patricia May Victoria Castro, currently 19 years old, representing political science as a first year. To say good luck to all of us guys, galingan nating pareho. Yes, let's keep the sportsmanship in this competition and we're very excited to hear your insights about your side. I hope you are also excited to hear us as well.
At atin namang kilalanin ang ating mga debaters na hindi naman pabor sa pag-abolish ng party list system at naniniwalang dapat itong i-reform kaysa tuluyang buwagin. Panoorin natin ito.
I'm Marisa Andrea Lusong, currently 18 years old, first year from BS Accountancy. So I think this debate will be really interesting and would really be beneficial for the people kasi they would also be able to see the pros of the party list system and the reasons kung bakit kailangan siyang mag-stand.
Hi, I'm Jalen Lila R. Cortez, 18 years old at BA Pol Sci first year. For my own preparations po, ay inisip ko lang na happy-go-lucky lang and good luck, have fun. Since this is a debate na gusto natin malaman ba, walang harsh na like, let's say, nothing personal sa atin. And I'd like to have fun with the debate and more on so. So for preparations as a team, masaya naman ako na on the same page kami.
Hi, my name is John Andre B. Flores, 19 years old, first year BS Accountancy. So for the opposing team po namin, good luck lang po and sana po enjoy lang po tayo. So wala pong harsh feelings. After this debate po, sana all goods pa rin po tayo lahat.
At sa aming pagbabalik, isang mainit na debate ang ating matutunghayan mula sa ating mga estudyante dito lang sa FEU Cavite.
Cavite.
Lahat ng yan ay dito lang sa Schoolmates! I love it! Nagbabalik ang Schoolmates! Nandito pa rin tayo sa Far Eastern University, Cavite! O, di ba? I love the energy of the people here. Ayan. So, Schoolmates, lagi naming pinapaalala na sa ating mga debate, ito ay isang platform lamang para marinig ang iba't ibang perspektibo ng mga kabataan tungkol sa mga issue ng ating bayan at makibahagi sa kanilang academic exercise, di ba? Ibig lamang sabihin nito, ang bawat panig ay hindi nangangahulugan ng kanilang personal na pananaw. So please be respectful and just enjoy the show. Ayan, at bago tayo magsimula, ito muna ang ating rules at mechanics ng ating debate.
May dalawang teams na maglalaban, ang Team Pro at Team Con, na may tig-3 miyembro. Ang team leaders ang unang sasalang sa ating debate. Para sa bawat tanong, may 3 rounds or lives ang bawat isa, na may 30 seconds per speaker per round. Kapag sobrang intense at walang gustong magpatalo, we activate the bonus round. 1 minute and 30 seconds yan na free flow discussion. Meaning, bahala na magsagutan ang magkabilang panig. Pero, kung halimbawa, hindi na makarebat ang naunang debater, pwede siyang mag-buzz para palitan ng ibang team member. Ito ang twist. Bilang mga host, may kapangyarihan kaming mag-buzz sa gitna ng laban. Kung medyo off, boring, o hindi kami satisfied sa sagot ng sinumang debater, we can buzz you out at papalitan ng ibang team member. Kaya make sure na hindi lang matalino ang sagot nyo. Dapat klaro, direkta, at convincing. Bring your best arguments.
Ngayon, nalaman na natin ang mechanics ng ating debate. So simulan natin ang mainit na diskusyon sa pamamagitan ng opening statement ng ating mga debate leaders. Sa tingin nyo ba, natutupad pa ba ng mga party list system ang orihinal nitong layunin na bigyan ng representasyon ang marginalized sectors tulad ng mga magsasaka, manggagawa, kababaihan at kabataan? Simulan muna natin, Jed.
The party list system has long ceased its purpose. Alam naman natin na nung unang in-establish ang party list system ay mayroon naman talaga siyang purpose. Up until to the point na naging magaan na siya sa mga umuupo. Tapos doon na nakapasok yung mga hindi naman talaga dapat nagre-represent doon sa mga marginal sector. It has given the people a false sense of representation to the point that most people just overlook the fact that maybe ganito lang talaga.
Maraming salamat, Jed. Ano masasabi mo doon, Andrea?
Para sa akin, I think wala namang katotohanan yung sagot mo, Jed, no? Kasi katulad lang nung recent elections natin, this 2025, ang top party list na nakakuha ng boto ng mga mamayang Pilipino ay ang Akbayan Party List. And ang isa sa mga core principles nila, or mga pinaglalaban nila, ay anti-corruption. So I think that achieves naman the purpose of the party list system, no? To bring representation to these sectoral parties at para naman mai-push forward nila yung kanilang mga advocacy sa Senatorial Congress or sa House of Representatives ng Philippines.
Dahil nabanggit nyo nga na, or in your case, Jed, hindi epektibo or hindi, it has long ceased its purpose, no? Ano-anong mga examples ba ang masasabi natin in the recent times that party list systems are no longer effective when it comes to representation? At kung madagdag lang natin, no, kung ang mga party list groups na sinasabi mo nga ay may mga hindi karapat-dapat nang nauupo, ay konektado sa political dynasties o malalaking negosyo, sapat na ba itong dahilan para tuluyang buwagin ang buong sistema? Jed?
Well, definitely, it is going to be the very first step we should take as the Filipino people, no, to prevent this type of corruption happening. And the thing is, one of the biggest examples that lets the faulty, get into the seats is the fact that they are linked to a lot of political dynasties. And one of the reason for that is, most of the senators actually meron din silang party list aside from representing themselves. So one of the reasons why we should really remove it is because it's important, no?
Okay, tuloy natin yan mamaya, Andrea.
I don't think enough na reason yung corruption na sinasabi mo para i-abolish yung party list system. Kasi without the party list system itself, sa House of Representatives mismo, meron ng corruption na nagaganap. Sabi mo nga, may political dynasties. And as of the moment, meron din naman tayong mga magkakamag-anak na nakaupo sa House of Representatives natin. So parang ang dating sa akin kasi nung point mo, dapat tanggalin din natin yung House of Representatives. Kasi merong corruption doon. So paano siya naging enough if this party list system gives access to those sectoral parties na hindi naman nila normally makukuha sa ibang mga lugar. Kasi
after a organization look into the party list system, it shows up that over 55% of the party list system are actually not representing the marginalized sector. So I don't know why did you put in the House of Representatives, because that's an entirely different part aside for the party list. My point is that if we continue to show politicians na, okay, magagawa lang ako ng party list para makapasok, I get a seat, which should not be the case. Dapat mas mahigpit yan. We should abolish to change it to make sure na maayos ulit ito. Hindi mo naman naayusin ang electric fan pag nakasaksak to.
thank you for that, no? So ikaw na mismo nagsabi, dapat i-reform natin yung party list system. And this is very much possible without abolishing it. Kasi pag in-abolish natin to, mas mabibigyan natin ng gateway yung mga elitista, yung mga members ng political dynasties na makapasok. Kasi wala nang capture o wala nang hold yung sectoral parties no sa magiging boto ng mga mamamayang Pilipino. And even though magiging gateway siya, it's still a gateway for those people to have access, which is what we fight for. We fight for their accessibility, for representation. Kasi dun sa gusto mo mangyari, i-abolish mo siya to reform it. Eh kung i-abolish mo naman,
But my question to you is, paano mo maipapasa yung mga bill para pagandahin ng ating gobyerno? For example, the anti-political dynasty bill. How will you pass that bill if the people you are passing that for is being threatened? Sa tingin mo ba ang politika, kapag nakita nila na, uy, papasa tong bill na to, sige, hayaan lang natin. You must remove that institution first before you get to able to put in the laws to make it clearer. We abolish to make it better, not to replace it, but to make it better. We must clean it first before we actually get into the lawmaking.
so ikaw na mismo nagsabi, no, katulad na sinabi ko, nakakapasok yung mga sectoral party representatives through the party list system. Pag tinanggal mo yun, ang mangyayari, magiging invalid na yung seat nila sa House. And then ang mangyayari, puro district and regional representatives lang yung nakaupo. Puro yung mga elites na yun, and then yung mga galing sa political dynasties. Paano magiging possible yung abolishment or yung pag-reform mo kung lalo mong tinanggal yung mga minorities dun sa picture? Wala silang opinion, ang magkaka-opinion lang, yung mga current na nakaupo, yung mga higher up, yung mga may kapangyarihan talaga. So mas lalong hindi sila papayag na i-reform yung party list system na to para ma-move out of their favor yung sistema itself. So we should start with reforming the qualifications muna.
By removing the minorities, you mean the 55+% na hindi naman nire-represent ang minorities? I do not understand why there is this dilemma na
Bakit ba kailangan natin pagtiisan yung isang bulok na sistema na? Why can't we push forward for a better governance? Kaya naman natin hindi naman tayo na-stuck sa past. We have done the research na kaya naman natin. Just because we are removing or abolishing the party list system doesn't mean we don't like it anymore. We need to reform it, and that's the most important part. We need to change it. And one of the most important part is to stop it first.
Kung isa-stop mo nga siya, paano siya magpa-function ng maayos? As I've stated earlier, kung isa-stop mo siya, mas may access nga yung mga elitista din. And I'd like to correct you lang, no? Kasi hindi naman 55% ang na-make up nung mga party list dun sa House of Representatives, no? It's only 20%.
So in
as
that
of
20, it's 55%.
kahit naman may 55% doon, what's important is meron pa ring boses yung mga tao na kailangan mabigyan ng boses.
In the small parts of the party list, yes.
kahit
Yung ibang
nasa
party
meron
list.
pa rin. Diba? So kung
And then,
tatanggalin mo
mention
siya,
mo kanina, Akbayan. It's one of the known ones. Okay? Like, it's the bigger ones. Paano yung mga maliliit? Paano yung mga hindi naririnig?
ayun, thank you, paano yung maliliit kung tatanggalan mo sila ng platform to access
Exactly,
this
kasi hindi sila makapasok. Let's say, for example, Danilo Ramos, tumakbo siya. Si Ronel Arambulo, tumakbo siya for senator. Bakit? Hindi sila makapasok.
Alright, maraming salamat. Ang galing ng ating first speakers. Okay, you've laid the groundworks. And I think at this point, gusto ko munang makarinig ng ibang speakers. Maraming salamat, Jed and Andrea. So guys, what we want is a more cohesive thought, ha? So we want the train of thought of the first speakers to flow through the next. Pero maglalagay tayo ng additional layer of question. So, nabanggit kanina na, okay, tama yung correction kanina, no? But I do understand also that 55% of the 20%, medyo may ibang pagkakaintindi doon. No? So, linawin muna natin. Ang party list system na nakasaad sa 1987 Constitution ay merong 20% seat allocation sa House of Representatives. So, it's not a total House of Representatives. So, sa tingin nyo ba, with this 20%, dapat bang manatili siya? Dapat ba natin pataasin, pababain, or should we just abolish it altogether? Give me your answers, Jazz.
As applicable po earlier, if the 20% is already corrupted by 55% of those who are part of the elite, not to mention are these people who are connected to political dynasties as well as upper-class businessmen, how would they even represent the minorities that they should already be talking about or speaking about po? It is the matter po na 2/3 po kasi ng votes nila is ang nagka-count when it comes to passing a certain bill po.
Alright, sige. Let's hold that thought. Let's make it more concise. Jel, ano masasabi mo doon?
I think it's a matter of democracy itself. You are voting people. Binoboto mo mga tao mo para ikaw yung magkaroon ng representation sa iyong korte. So kung kinat mo ang 20%, let's say 20% lang siya. Compared sa ating 255 seats already assigned to our district members, which you could say na mas corrupt sila kumpara doon sa ganun. Due to political dynasties in their own district representatives, as districts are always consisted of either multiple cities, sino mas kilala sa cities na yon, or yung minsan sila city.
Alright, sige. Balik tayo, Jazz. Ano yung gusto mo sabihin kanina?
As I was saying po kanina, yung 2/3 po kasi na votes na yon is in their jurisdiction po. Like, dun po siya nakafocus sa mga tao na yon. And by removing like those 20%, which is already corrupted by the 55%, as mentioned earlier po, it is supposedly a help po to boost like a certain voice po, which is not, it is not po like yung sinasabi ni Jill kanina na porket tatanggalin namin yung 20%, mababawasan na ng boses yung minorities.
Sige, Jill, let's finish your thought. Ano yun kanina?
I think that is your purpose first. First of all, that's your purpose. You're literally cutting out the 20% that has the other voice in the, let's say, na pure on like 80% sila ay mga district representatives. The district representatives are yung main goal nila ay yung mga iserve yung people under their representatives. So in general terms, how about the specialized ones, right?
Regarding yun sa sinabi mo earlier, it's not about the, tawag dun? It's not about it's not about the percentage itself kasi. It's also about what they represent. Are they still staying true to their purpose according to the Constitution? Those people can be represented, of course, outside even of the Congress. But what you're saying right now is if in-strip ko yung 20%, nakasama dun yung 55%, that doesn't stand for what is needed by the masses.
Pero in my own terms, sa aming side, we vote we vote in general terms. So sa mga tao diyon nakabase ang mga boto natin, and for the, let's say, ano yung minention nyo kanina?
Bigyan ko kayo ng time mag-huddle ulit. Jazz and Jill, palit muna tayo. Can you give me Pat and Andre? Sige. Let's hold the thought from our comrades. So, okay. Tignan natin ang layer ha. So, sinasabi nila kanina kasi, what I'm getting from it is, it's a culling game. So, parang if you called out the rotten batch of the apples, it should supposed to help make the system better. It's what we're trying to jump off from, no? But do correct me if I'm wrong. But dito sa ating next question, laliman natin, no? Yung 2% na threshold na at yung paraan ng pag-compute ng mga seats na meron sa House of Representatives na naka-allocate para sa mga party list system na to, talaga bang masasabi nating nire-representa nila kung ano yung mga sinasabi nilang advokasya, and can you give me a tangible example of why or why not, Pat?
Okay, for starters, I would say definitely no. In the current state of the Philippines, makikita naman natin mga Pilipino kung ano ba, paano ba nila ginagamit yung pork barrel or yung fundings natin sa bansa natin. Ano ba yung naging reflection neto throughout the days? Let's start with the flood control issue. And not only but the flood control issues, but other party list na nakikinabang or let's say na nag-advocate for help or nag-empower sa so-called na tulong para sa bayan, hindi nagre-reflect mismo sa situation natin ngayon.
Alright, Pat, thank you. Andre?
Pero hindi mo kasi pwedeng i-generalize na yung sinabi niya na for flood control lang yung party list system na yan, since ang party list system is for representation of marginalized groups and underrepresented groups ng Philippines. So, hindi lang naman dun yung factors na nakaka-affect dun. So, marami pa siyang ibang factors na pasok pa dun sa may party list system na, ayun nga, in-establish siya to mechanize na magkaroon sila ng representation sa ating,
Okay, sige. Lagyan natin ng meaning. What do we mean by representation? And how do we know if a certain group or a certain person who is holding the seat is effective in holding that representation? Pat?
Again, representation is equivalent to the definition of advocating, empowering, and influencing. Sa isang organization, equivalent to a party list, kung ano yung ina-empower nilang motive, kung ano yung ina-empower nila sa mga mamamayan, ayun dapat yung sector na kanilang tinatalakay. What you mentioned earlier, that it's not focusing about the flood control, well, it's an example. However, sa iba pang examples natin dito, marginalized sectors are the ones who are prone for this activity. Kaya nga, sumasailalim pa rin yung mga Pilipino, we are still benefiting whether it is good or bad.
Ayun nga, yun yung issue kasi, di ba? Ang issue natin dito is abolishment. So, kayo is pro-abolish kayo sa sa mga party list system natin. So, sinasabi mo na ang kailangan, as mentioned by your co-team, so yung team member mo is, ang sabi niya kasi is, ang kailangan natin is reform. So, yun nga yung inaano namin na ang kailangan natin is reform, hindi siya removal. Kasi yung sa inyo kasi is abolish, which means to remove. So, ang kailangan natin is reform kasi ang issue naman natin dito, ang system is hindi siya yung main issue. Ang main issue dito is yung abuse sa system.
So when you say reform, technically, it's not just providing alternatives or alternative solution. Meaning to say, kung nakita mo na yung gulay, namumulok na yan, kasama pa ng iba pang gulay na fresh pa, hahayaan mo ba mamulok yung gulay na yon? Hindi, di ba? Bakit? Kasi in order for us to achieve that utopian or let's say ideal society, you have to advocate for reformation within the society. Sa atin mismo magsisimula yun. Sa atin mismo mga Pilipino, kung paano natin yan, lilinisin muna bago natin papalitan yung sistema. Kasi hindi rin naman yan mababago.
But the point is, paano mo nga siya igagawin yun kung ang solusyon nyo is abolish and not reform? Kasi ang sinabi nyo kanina is, ang kailangan, ang opposition kasi dapat nandun yung reform. So bakit minention nyo ganun? So para sa akin, medyo conflicting yung mga sinasabi nyo kaya ganun. So ang kailangan natin dito is ayusin yung system and na hindi yung kailangan tanggalin dito yung abuse kasi given nga na sa natin, sa government natin is marami nga naman kasi nangyayaring corruption.
So how do you take the abuse if you're not going to clean it up? How would you fix it if you are not going to start with something? How will you begin on it? Diba? Diba dapat ayusin mo muna yung mga basura sa daan before ka magsascrub, before ka magpupunas. This is the same. Reformation, tatanggalin muna natin yung party list para makasimula tayo ng panibagong sistema in order for us to improve the society state.
Can you pause the timer muna? Sige. Para magkalaman lalo yung natin yung free flow. So free flow, pwede na kayong magsagutan, no? Because we're saying naglilinis tayo ng kalat sa ating sariling bakod. That is the analogy that you guys are both using. And you are questioning the technicality of the term abolition if what they're trying to say is reform, di ba? So punta tayo doon. Ano ba ang panimulang problema kung bakit hindi nagiging epektibo ang isang party list? Marahil pwede nating sabihin na ang pangunahing problema ay ang screening at regulasyon ng mga nominees. Mas makatarungan ba ang reforma sa batas kaysa sa total abolition na nais natin na mangyari? So again, the parameters are, mas makatarungan ba ang sinasabi niyong parehong reforma o total abolition when it comes to actually trying to fix the screening process and the regulation of the power for those who are nominated for these seats? Free flow, go.
I think it would start off by reforming or abolition of the party list kasi una sa lahat, dito natin mas lalong mahasa or mas lalong masiscreen yung qualifications in order for these politicians or officials to showcase their party list. Meaning to say, makikita lalo natin yung pinaka-substance or essence or advocacies na ina-advocate nila sa mga mamamayan. Makikita din natin yung transparency on how would they transact yung mga ginagawa nila.
Pero ang issue nga kasi is ang sinasabi nyo is abolition and not, ayun yung abolition eh. So hindi ba ang kailangan natin gawin is hindi abolish, baka bagkus is ang gawin natin is gawin natin mas strict yung qualifications.
Strict qualification considering the fact that 55% of the party list na nakikinabang sa fundings ng Pilipinas ay walang na-process na project, walang nakikinabang or wala talagang nagiging kinalabasan para sa mga mamamayang Pilipino. How would you say na makakatulong yung reformation na yan kung hindi muna natin tatanggalin?
Okay, maraming salamat Pat and Andre. I need a new breed of debaters. So balik siguro tayo, no? Let's go back to our initial debaters. So balik tayo dun sa question ko kanina, ha. When we say screenings and regulations of nominees, how do we do that? How do we make sure that they are effective at the start pa lang of the process of the nomination? And how do we govern how they are effective when they're already seated in these positions? That's what I want to hear. Andrea.
So when we say stricter regulations, no, kasi as of the moment, ang qualifications lang na kailangan nilang ma-achieve is a minimum age which is 25. And kailangan voters sila, and kailangan Filipino citizens sila. So as nakikita nyo, wala siyang background check or anything. Wala siyang kailangan na pruweba na dapat connected siya doon sa sectoral party na rin-represent niya. No? So we'll start with that. No? And then pagdating doon, kasi prevention is better than cure, di ba? So, pag na-prevent muna natin na pagpasok yung mga corrupt officials by doing a thorough background check and proving that they're connected, saka natin i-eliminate yung inside.
Well, prevention naman din yung ginagawa namin. You see, paano mo maipapasa yung mga ganyang batas na, sige, babaguhin namin yung requirements, kung yung mga nakaupo doon is ayaw nga pabago kasi hindi na sila makakaroon ng upuan. The thing is, clarify ko lang din just because we are pro-abolishment does not mean we are going for a different kind of reform or a different type of government. We are abolishing it to clean it up, okay? So, we want to start a clean slate. And I like your idea naman.
So ikaw na mismo nagsabi, no, paano natin ipapasa yung pag-strict requirements na yun kung yung mga mismo mag-a-approve ng bill, sila yung nakaupo, ayaw nila. Babalik ko sa iyo yung tanong, paano mo ipapasa yung pag-reform and yung pag-abolish ng bill kung yung mismong nakaupo doon is nagbe-benefit sila doon sa bill na yun mismo, no? Sabi mo, i-abolish natin tapos pagbalik niya, mas maayos na siya pakinggan. Kasi even though yung Constitution yung nagbibigay ng bill, it's up to the Congress to interpret and then to put the restrictions doon sa ano na yan. So hindi ba parang mangyari yung ulit lang yung naging problem doon sa past party list system? Baka nga ang gawin nila, mas lax pa yung requirements nila eh.
Definitely, na-underestimate mo ang ating government at ang ating mga taong bayan. Why do you always have to say na hindi to papasa kasi maraming kumokontra? More than part naman, meron namang good part naman talaga ng government. I hope you agree with that, di ba? Meron naman din talaga mga tao na who is striving for the greater good. Now, the thing is that you cannot simply say na, hindi to papasa, hindi to papasa. This should be the first step. This should be the catalyst for a better government. Kasi nandito na tayo eh. Meron ng bill. Unti na lang, approve na lang.
So sabi mo nga, meron namang good part yung government natin. So is it really worth it to eliminate the good part para lang mababasan natin ng power yung bad parts? Kasi yung good part na yun, nakakakuha lang sila ng power or access to the legislative debate doon sa party list system na yun, di ba? Eh kung tatanggalin mo sila, gusto mo kasi abolishment, di ba? Tapos tatanggalin mo din sila kasi sabi mo nga 55% of that 20% is na-corrupt na. Eh di matatanggal din yung good part ng government na yun or House of Representatives. Eh di mas maraming part na yung mga corrupt officials or mas madaming access na yung bad officials doon sa part na yun.
Ang good part na tinutukoy ko ay hindi Supreme Court. Okay, walang kapangyarihan ng ibang party list sa ibang party list. For example, nakita nila, uy, corrupt to, susumbong namin to. Hindi. Ang party list is solely reluctant on representing the marginalized group. How can the good parts of the party list group remove the bad parts kung wala nga silang kapangyarihan over one another? They are all equal. So, you remove it first, abolish mo muna, state the laws na mga kailangan mong ipasa bago mo you start again. Kasi from the point, hindi naman talaga ginawa ang party list system.
So are you suggesting ba na i-wipe out din natin yung buong House of Representatives? Kasi yun ang gusto mo mangyari. Matanggal yung mga kurakot sa Senado, di ba? Para maipasa yung ng maayos yung bill, para mas strict yung requirements, para mas hindi sila makalusot.
No, I did not say that. I did
Pero
not
that's
say
the
that.
implications, di ba? Kapag sabi mo, para mas ma-reform natin sila, para mas may access yung mga sectoral parties doon sa mga gusto nilang ipakitang plataforma, mas present naman yung sa side namin eh. Kasi ikikip namin yung party list system na yun, and they will stay in their seats. Pero umpisahan namin, sa prevention na makapasok pa yung mga corrupt officials na magka-access pa sila doon sa guaranteed 20% seats in the House of Representatives.
Pero how can you guarantee nga na kapag pinasa mo na yan, malilinis mo na talaga yon? Paano kapag nag-veto? Paano nag-veto ang House of Representatives? 2/3 lang ang kailangan, hindi na papasok yan. Paano pag
Babalik ko
vinito
sa iyo
yun?
yung tanong mo, no? Paano may gagaranty na i-approve nila yung pagbalik ng party list system kung na-abolish na in the first place?
Hindi pa ba sapat na nakikita natin ngayon? Alam na ng tao, alam na ng iba nilang mga tao
Pero
din
may
sa
karapatan
gobyerno
bang bumoto? May power ba ang mga taong magsabi? Or may say ba ang mga tao doon sa magiging approval ng bill na yun? Kung tatanggalin
My
mo ngayon
question
representative na
is to
nagbibigay
you.
ng boses sa
My
kanila.
question sa'yo. Anong klaseng bansa tayo? Are we a democracy or authoritarianism? Democracy tayo. Siyempre, papasok yan.
Exactly. Paano magkakaroon ng democracy kung yung mga nakaupo ay mga corrupt at nag-a-agree sila na dapat
Hihintayin
hindi
pa ba
ibalik
natin
yung
yon?
bill na to?
Hihintayin pa ba
Syempre,
natin
hindi, diba?
yon?
Kaya nga ipe-prevent
We should
na
act
natin.
now.
Ang
Abolish
gusto ko,
it so that we
tanggalin
can
sila
get
lahat.
a better government.
Okay, maraming salamat to Andrea and Jed. Medyo toe-to-toe po sila. So sige, let's mix it up a bit. I want a girl versus girl kind of thing. Okay, Andrea, stay there. Pat, pasok. Kung tuluyang aalisin, in your case, or kung irereforma for the meantime, ang party list system, at in your case ay hindi tuluyang i-abolish, how do you clean it from the inside? Ano ang maaaring alternatibong mekanismo para mabigyan pa rin ng representasyon ang marginalized sectors in this limbo state that you guys are speaking about, Pat?
Let's talk about under Article 7 of the 1987 Constitution, which is Executive Department. Kada department merong namumuno na secretary. So yung mga departments na yun, DOH, Department of Justice, Department of Foreign Affairs, lahat sila may kanya-kanyang ina-advocate, may kanya-kanya silang motive kung saan yung sector na yun, mas lalo lang binibigyan pansin para sa mga mamamayan to benefit.
So paano mo masasabi na yung mga nakaupo doon is hindi kasangkot or hindi related doon sa mga corrupt officials na gusto nyong itaboy?
Just like like what you mentioned earlier, there are certain qualifications. Under the 1987 Constitution, part din ng Section 2 and Section 3 ng Office of the Vice President and President, merong qualifications or standards na sinusunod para mahasa ng maayos yung mga uupo na opisyales.
Thank you, no? So ikaw na mismo nagsabi, sige, let's drop articles here. According dun sa original purpose, no, ng party list system, it is to give access to representation para dun sa sectoral parties na yun. And according naman sa Congress, yun talaga yung purpose nila.
Yes.
It's not the system that's at fault. It's the interpretation of it. Kasi pumasok lang naman yung accessibility ng mga corrupt officials nung nagsampa ng kaso si Atong versus Comelec. Kasi ang nangyari doon in 2013, ang napalitan yung interpretation ng bill, ang nangyari, nabigyan ng access yung district and regional representatives na pumasok doon sa guaranteed 20% na yun.
Again, ang tinutukoy dito is yung mismo mga opisyales na umuupo dun sa mga party list na yon. Ano ba yung nagiging processing nila? Paano ba sila nag-function? Paano ba nagre-reflect yung mismong ginagawa nila? Would you say at the current state right now na nabibigyan pansin yung mga marginalized sectors na yan? Even though sinasabi mo na mga elitista, businessman, or mga opisyales na magiging corrupt lang lalo if na-abolish lalo yung party list, hindi ba sa 55% on the 55% na nakikinabang ng party list ngayon,
Meron pa rin naman, no, I will not drop names, pero merong party list na continuing lumalaban para sa pagtaas ng minimum wage ng mga teacher, no. Another party list, they're actively fighting for labor rights, no, para naman sa mga farmers and para sa mga workers natin. So hindi naman kasi porke corrupted na sila, is tatanggalan mo na rin ng boses yung mga hindi pa nagiging corrupted doon sa part na yon. Kasi ang point nga ng party list system, we give them access, we give them a boost. Kasi compared doon sa mga district and regional representatives, may reputasyon na sila. Sabi nyo nga, kadalasan galing sa political dynasty, mas may access na talaga sila para makaapak sila sa Kongreso. And then yung mga tao na to is wala.
let me ask you, paano yung mga nakaupo sa mga party list na yun? Meron na rin posisyon na inuupuan sa iba pang party or iba pang department. Kumbaga, mas lalo silang nabibigyan, mas lalo silang, ano tawag doon? Mas lalo silang nag-gain or nagkakaroon ng personal gain sa trabaho nila, hindi nabibigyan yung ibang sectors or yung tinutukoy na marginalized sectors sa sinasabi mo. Kasi sinabi mo na kanina even though it's corrupted, sa tingin mo, sa tingin ko ba, kung paano kung ma-abolish is mabibigyan pa ba ng pansin yon?
So yun nga, no, balik tayo dun sa point ko kanina, di ba? Kung corrupted na sila, paano mabibigyan ng pansin yung sectors na yun? I ask you again, paano nga papasa ulit yung party list system bill kung yung mga nakaupo is kurakot na? So let's look at the long-term effects, no?
Kaya nga natin tatanggalin yung mismong party list system para malinis ng maayos, para magkaroon ng reformation ng magandang screening for the qualifications ng mga opisyalis na uupo para there's no redundancy with the advocacies, the officials, their motives. Kumbaga, magkakaroon ng panibagong sistema in order for us to improve pa yung current state ng bansa natin.
Girls, you're not answering the question. In your case ano ba dapat ang kwalifikasyon ng isang nominado para makaupo? And in your case, kung hindi abolition ang tamang sagot, what is the alternative solution that you are proposing?
I would say yung isa sa mga qualifications sa mga nakaupo is magkaroon ng centered focus na department or advocacy kung saan yung kinatatayuan nila, iisa lang muna yung hinahandle nila. Iisa muna yung ina-advocate nila, kung saan na sila nakafocus, doon nakacentralize yung idea nila para given or open yung opportunity sa mga tao na gusto pang mamahala at tumulong. And again, with the abolition of the party list, I think it would be effective na ma-reforma or mabago pa lalo para mas lalong mahasa ng maayos yung mga tao makikinabang doon.
So balik tayo dun, no? Nabanggit mo na dapat mayroong stricter qualification.
Yes.
And that's present din kasi sa side namin. Now, what makes our side better than yours? Kasi ang sinasabi mo, ang dating sa akin
Again, you want to remain some of the party list there. However, due to statistics and the current state, hindi nagre-reflect na it would be effective 13 years ng Pilipinas under that party list. Walang pagbabago, walang nangyayari. Sa tingin mo, how would you still remain, how would you still push that idea kung nakikita ng mga Pilipino na wala, asa ng pera ng bayan? Sino ang nakikinabang?
But I would like to clarify that it's not the fault of the system itself, no? As I've said nga, it's the
We
interpretation.
are the system. The government is the system. Lahat ng taong mga opisyalis na ikinabang dyan, kaya nga sila party.
So kung
Kasi they
tatanggalin
are
mo yung boses
advocating.
natin sa sistema by removing that party-less system, how are we sure na those who remain seated will still continue to serve our
They will
interests?
not be remain seated because it will be reformed.
Okay, thank you so much, Pat and Andrea. Muli, maraming salamat sa ating mga debaters mula sa FEU Cavite para sa isang makabuluhan at sobrang init ng diskusyon natin kanina. No? At sa aming pagbabalik naman po ay pakinggan naman natin ang opinyon ng ating mga estudyante. Siyempre, ang mga audience natin kung totoong kayo ay nakinig kanina. Alamin natin kung sino rin ang ating magiging best speaker for this episode. Dito lang yan sa Schoolmates.
At magbabalik pa rin tayo dito sa Schoolmates kung kanina ay narinig natin ating mga debaters sa isang mainit na diskusyonan. Ngayon naman maririnig natin ang ating live audience dito pa rin sa Far Eastern University, Cavite! Ayan, nakakamiss naman yun sabihin. Pero syempre guys, tulad nga na sinabi ko, narinig na natin ang ating mga debaters. Ang gagaling nila, di ba? Syempre ngayon naman hindi magpapatalo. Hindi ba kayo magpapatalo, guys? Hindi, isang sigaw na may kasamang palakpakan ng FEU Cavite! Okay, ayan, okay. Sige. Sino ang gustong magbigay ng kanilang opinion sa ating topic? Ayan, hello. Hi, dito tayo. Ito ang ating... Ikaw, may question lang ako sa iyo, brother. Anong name mo?
My name is James Rapper Lucas po.
James, para sa iyo, pabor ka ba o hindi sa abolition ng party list system?
Ako, personally, in favor ako na wag natin i-abolish ang mismong system. Ang gawin natin is the amendment of the system. And ako, based din sa mga nakita kong positions nila, parehas silang nagsasabi about reform. Pero ano kailangan ako, why are we not talking about how to actually implement these reforms? Sinabi nila yung sides nila, pero nakalimutan, hindi ko masabi kung bakit nakukulangan ako sa how. Kasi for me, if I were to voice out my own opinion, ang masasabi ko lang, when it comes to the abolishment of this particular thing, we always have to remember, isn't the party list system based on the 1987 Constitution? So would that require a charter change? Kasi kapag ganun, ang hirap mag-backtrack from then. If you're going to actually do this reform in a sort of piece by piece approach, kaya ka mag-backtrack. Kung may pagkakamali ka, kaya mong baguhin yon. Kasi kagaya ng nasabi niya parehas, etong bagay na to, naka-based to as an interpretation. Isn't this interpretation based on the Party List System Act? Kung binago mo yung Party List System Act, kaya mo baguhin to paunti-unti. Hindi kagaya ng na parang dinediretso mo na lang, baguhin mo na agad, tanggalin mo na yung amendment na to, tanggalin mo na yung lahat ng to. What we should actually do is we should actually change the 2% threshold. Kasi yung 2% threshold na yan, yun yung reason kung bakit maraming maliliit na party list na hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng coalition, hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng collaboration towards actually implementing the platforms and the advocacies of each party list na gusto nilang i-represent.
Maraming salamat, James. Dito lang natin napatunayan na hindi lang debaters ang magagaling dahil lahat ng estudyante ng FEU Cavite talagang magagaling, magaganda at gwapo. Tama ba yun? Of course, bago tayo magtungo sa ating best speaker announcement, isa munang paalala para sa ating mga ka-schoolmates na maging matalino po tayo sa ating pagkakomento. Batid naman natin lahat na tayo ay may kalayaang magbigay ng mga opinion base sa ating mga naririnig at napapanood. Ngunit hindi po ito sapat na dahilan para hamakin o bigyang komento ang pisikal na anyo, pananalita at opinyon ng isang individual.
Maraming salamat dyan, JV. And of course, no, schoolmates, atin namang pakinggan. Ito talaga, inaabangan ko talaga to. Ang last statement ng ating mga debaters. Debaters, you may now give your closing statement. Simulan natin kay Jed.
Don't let that 13 years go on further. Let this first act be the change, be the catalyst for a much better government. And of course, may the leaders, who will eventually take a seat in the House of Representatives fully represent the people of the Philippines without any hesitation. That is all.
Thank you so much, Jed. At for your last statement naman for your team, step up, Andrea.
It is about whether or not na-serve ng party list system yung purpose nila, which is to give access to these underrepresented sectors or these sectoral parties. And we've proven and we've shown na na-serve naman niya yung purpose niya. Although merong faults, this does not mean that we need to abolish it immediately. Sabi nga nila, kailangan natin itong tanggalin kasi na-overtake na siya ng mga corrupt officials. Again, kapag nag-make tayo ng changes sa law, kanino ba dumadaan? Kanino ba dumadaan? Sa House of Representatives. And they argue na the House of Representatives is majorly made up of corrupt officials. So, magtatanong ako sa inyo, paano nga ba ipapasa ang pagtanggal ng batas na ito kung yung mga mismong mag-a-approve or magdi-disapprove nito ay nakikinabang talaga? Paano nila ipapush yung mismong quote-unquote better version nito once they've removed it kung mas nakikinabang yung mga nakaupo kung wala naman talaga ito? Sa side namin, pinupush namin na meron pa rin dapat silang access and that we are not opposed to change. Dapat unti-unti lang. We have to keep the party list system in place kasi this is what gives the people a starting point for them to make a change in the Senate, for them to have a voice in the House of Representatives.
Thank you so much to both teams. Eto na, atin nang alamin kung sino ang best speaker na nagbigay ng malinis, pinakamatibay at pinakakongkretong argumento sa ating debate ngayong araw. Tandaan lamang po natin mga debaters, lahat kayo ay panalo. The fact na nakatungtong kayo at nakapagsalita kayo dito.
I-announce na natin kung sino ang ating best speaker for today.
At siya ay walang iba kundi si
Tadadadam!
Jedril Mangulabnan! Jed! Ayan, may gusto ka bang pasalamatan? May gusto ka bang sabihin sa iyong mga kapwa, teammates at mga nakalaban today?
Definitely one of the biggest preparations talaga is yung teamwork, no? We cannot have, reached this part if it wasn't for my teammates and also good sport to, of course, my opponents and my friends, of course. And thank you po so much for visiting us here and giving the FEU Tamaraws a voice.
Thank you so much. Well said, Jed, no? Ayan. For you, JV, anong naging takeaway mo from a lot of the points that were raised earlier?
Alam mo, katulad ng ating mga live audience ngayon, talaga nag-notes din ako doon.
Yan, I love that.
Bukod sa napakagagaling ng ating mga debaters ngayon, napakagagaling din ng ating live audience. No? Ako para sa akin, Trish, ang party list system ay should not be abolished. No? Nagbibigay kasi ito ng boses para sa mga maliliit na sektor. Diba? Doon kasi ako nang gagaling. Nagbibigay sila ng boses para sa mga maliliit na sektor tulad ng mga magsasaka, manggagawa, kabataan, and of course mga kababaihan tulad ngayon, nag-celebrate tayo ng Women's Month. No? So napakahalaga nito para sa ating mga kababayan. Ang party list system ng bansa ang naatasan ng konstitusyon na magbigay ng representasyon para sa mga marginalized, underrepresented, at sectoral na group. Kaya naman, Trish, kung ito'y maaalis, ay malaking kawalan ito para sa ating mga kababayan na walang lakas ng loob o boses na ipagtanggol ang kanilang mga karapatan. Yun.
Right. So, syempre, no, JV, when it comes to representation, ako ang naging takeaway ko, representation is true. It's access. Tama, di ba? But you were put there for a reason. So, efficacy and effectiveness should still be measured. And in the case of the historicals ng party list system, it's true. There are good party lists. There are good party list representatives. But we cannot deny that there are those who are not also effective. But then, ano ba ang itinataya natin sa kada boto at kada tantos na meron tayong inilalagay sa ating balota? It's your street vendors. It's yung mga magsasaka natin. Ito yung mga lumalaban para sa atin sa pang-araw-araw nating kabuhayan. It's not just them. There are plenty more. The ethnic groups and a lot of the forgotten members of the society. So, in terms of abolishment, I think the end goal is reform. That's correct. But what is not clear to me is that with the current system of the Philippines, how do we enforce that change without a proper check and balance? And I think that's the first step that we should do is a proper definition of term. What does representation mean? Who are we representing? We're starting with that, when we define what the problem is, when we define the problem that we are addressing, we are taking one step further into actually solving that problem. At ang susunod dapat nating tantosin ay sino ba dapat ang mga umuupo sa mga seats na ito? Dapat ba parte ka lang ng specific na grupo? O dapat ba maalam ka sa mga bawat batas at ano ang mga problema na kinakaharap ng iyong sektor. Kasi kung hindi, ibig sabihin, hindi ka na effective at the start pa lang. And sinasayang natin ang ating mga boto. Araw-araw, may mga humihingi ng tulong for healthcare. May humihingi ng tulong para sa proper na pabahay. At ang bawat advokasya na ito ay hindi natin na ibibigay kung naglalagay tayo ng maling tao both in Congress and in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. So all seats of power should be properly checked at maging matalino tayong botante. Huwag na natin hayaan na itong mga uri ng tao na ito ay nakakaupo at nalalamangan tayo. Bayan, kaya nyo ba yun na nilalamangan ka araw-araw, ang bawat tax na inilalabas mo ay napupunta sa bulsa ng iba at iba ang nakikinabang? So simulan natin also with proper voters education. It's not just feels, dapat maging matalinong Pilipino tayo. At yun sana yung maging question sa ating mga schoolmates ngayong araw na to. Hindi lang sa mga kabataan, pati sa inyong mga pamilya. Simulan natin yung ganitong uri ng conversation, di
Yes,
ba?
tama ka dyan. Palakpakan nyo naman si Trisha.
Yes.
Alam mo,
Marami tayong feels sa episode na to. Okay?
alam mo,
Okay?
napakaganda ng episode nito. Talagang isang importanteng episode ito na mapanood ng ating mga kabataan and of course sa ating mga viewers, di ba?
Correct. At syempre, sino ba ang dapat nating pasalamatan? Bakit tayo nagkaroon ng ganitong feels sa ganitong episode? Palakpakan natin ang FEU Cavite!
Diba?
Thank you guys for
Nag-enjoy ako.
inspiring.
Nag-enjoy
din
ako.
ako. Marami akong
Tama.
natutunan,
Oo,
guys.
diba?
At sana marami rin kayo natutunan. Kaya comment down below at huwag kayong mambash. All love lang tayo. Don't
All
spread
love.
hate. Ayan. And with that, sa bawat usapin sa bawat issue, may boses tayong mga kabataan.
Sumali, makinig at makiisa dahil opinion nyo'y mahalaga.
Kaya naman, sabay-sabay natin isigaw sa mundo, schoolmates!
May pakialam ka!
Thank you so much, FEU